We ended in prophase yesterday, and I'm underlining M for meta, M for middle, okay? Because if you notice, that's one of the easiest ones to remember. All the what line up in the middle? Chromosomes. All the chromosomes line up in the middle. And what else happens? Look at the picture of prophase and tell me what else is happening. Good. The spindles are attaching to what? And the centromere in the middle. A for anaphase, A for away, A for apart, if that's how you want to remember it, okay? What's moving away and apart? Chromosomes move apart. I put chromatids because now it's pieces instead of chromosomes, right? But as I told you yesterday, any chromo word is acceptable, okay? And what else happens? Not yet. I mean, you're seeing kind of a dip, but what was holding them together? Centromere, okay? So they get pulled apart and like the centromere is basically pulled. So they went from lining up in the middle, right, to being pulled apart. Now who can tell me which one is anaphase in the diagram? Correct. Anaphase right here. Easy to see, right? So in telophase, they used to say that telophase was like a telephone because old phones look like that, but now kind of people are saying other things. I'm just going to underline the T and let you guys use your imagination. But what happens in telophase? I'll show it to you this way and maybe it makes more sense. Spindle disappears. What else happens? Look, are you seeing something there? The nucleus reforms. You could kind of say that telophase is kind of backwards from what? Yep. So what else happens that I didn't even write here? What came back together? It's kind of reforming. Two different chromosomes. They're starting to like kind of look like they're going away. What came back together? No, the spindle's gone. Oh, the centrioles. Well, remember that when centrioles move back up to the top, let's say, when prophase happens, they split up to one on the top of the cell, one on the bottom. That way they end up with one each. Does that make sense? So it kind of, I wouldn't say it comes back together, ends up back at the top. Let's put that. And the one thing I didn't tell you is, and you have to know this, is that there's a cleavage furrow forming in the cell. And that's where you see that indent happening, okay? If I was going to ask you, what does the C in this outline stand for? What is your answer? No. In the outline, if we're looking at my notes as a whole, what is C in your notes? No. So cytokinesis is the third part of the cell cycle. It happens right immediately after telophase. A lot of people consider it one step. Telophase, cytokinesis as one thing. But it's really the third part because something else happens. What happens? C for? No. What splits? What splits? Cytoplasm. Yeah, it's a division of the cytoplasm is actually what's happening, and the cell splits. So you had that cleavage forming in telophase, and then it completely breaks apart in cytokinesis, and you have two daughter cells that are identical to the parent cell. And if I was going to show you this cell alone, what phase is that? Interphase. So technically, I have to show you two cells side by side, just splitting for you to know that cytokinesis occurred, because immediately after interphase begins. So I uncovered everything, but anaphase, chromosomes are pulled apart or moving away from each other. The difference between this one and this one is this cleavage forming, so that's how you could tell it's telophase. Prophase, here, everything looks darker, so you can kind of see still a border of a nucleus. Metaphase down the middle, and prophase, although you don't see chromosomes visible or centrioles in this image or spindle forming, because microscopes don't show all of those things, you can clearly see there's no more nucleus. So that's how you know it's prophase.